following video contains excerpts from our Day 1, Part 6, UC on C-Series RAID Configuration Playbook. For a complete configuration guide, subscribers can download the playbook from our website.
Welcome to our drawing, Day 1 C-Series Server Deployment for Cisco Collaboration RAID Configuration. This task is not required for initial BE deployment. However, it's good to know how this works. For a standard C-Series with DAS, this task is required. In this drawing, we'll describe the tasks required to configure RAID. Here are the Day 1 tasks for Cisco Collab on C-Series. On Day 1, we deploy the C-Series server itself. On Day 1, we also deploy the hypervisor, our ESXi host. Only a subset of the tasks are required for BE deployment. We'll run through everything for UC on C-Series. Once RAID has been configured, you can either configure server monitoring or move on to install your ESXi host, the first step in ESXi host deployment. The following tasks are part of configuring RAID. Access the SIMC GUI, RAID configuration WebBIOS Utility or RAID configuration SIMC, and evaluate results. Enterprise 20 uses the WebBIOS utility to configure RAID. Configuring RAID using SIMC is a newer capability which we haven't experimented with yet because we've had no issues with WebBIOS. Make sure you have the correct RAID settings before starting the upgrade process. There are two options for configuring RAID. RAID configuration using the WebBIOS utility and RAID configuration using SIMC. We'll only look at the WebBIOS utility for now. We'll come back to the SIMC option when we can. Click on Launch KVM Console or the icon in the toolbar to launch a KVM session. With the KVM Console open, switch to the SIMC GUI and on the Server Summary page, click Power Cycle Server. Click OK to the dialog box and immediately switch to the KVM Console. Press Ctrl-H to launch the WebBIOS utility. We are configuring RAID for a BE6000, which comes with a 4 500GB SATA 7.2K RPM small form factor hot plug drive sled mounted drives. You should see these in the physical view in the right pane. In the screen cap, physical view is hidden under Configuration Wizard. Remember, a BE comes with RAID pre-configured. The drives will be in spans in a virtual drive and will show as online in the physical view. Click on Configuration Wizard. The BE6000 uses 4 drives in a RAID 10 configuration. We'll have 2 separate RAID 1 drive groups where the data is mirrored. Then we stripe the data across these 2 drive groups. RAID 10 is fast and reliable, but it's inefficient. You have 100% overhead. In the diagram, we can lose 2 drives not in the same RAID 1 drive group. For example, disks 1 and 3, or 2 and 4. It's easy to recover from a drive failure in RAID 10. Data just needs to be copied. Your 4 drives are in 2 drive groups. Click Next to proceed. The RAID volume will be 929 gig. That's half the size of the 4 drives combined as expected. We're ready to complete the configuration. Click Next. The RAID volume is configured. Click Home. Now everything looks good, so click Exit. The hard drives are now correctly configured for RAID. Note that we listed server monitoring as optional. This really should be done as soon as possible, but the server can be deployed first and this step done later. Coming up next, Day 1, Cisco Collaboration on C-Series ESXi host deployment, ESXi installation. Please note, we'll do the C-Series server monitoring lesson once we've got more base content posted. Thanks for watching!